All right, it is streaming live now. Good
Okay.
morning, everyone. In the chat box, please put in where you're dialing in from. We'd like to welcome you. The AI
Mm.
Sensei is actually preparing some things for the big event this Saturday. And so we have the honor of having the one and only Jennette Garza that's going to be the student becomes the teacher today.
Big shoes, I
Everybody's
guess. Big shoes.
everybody show Jennette a little love. Tell her good morning, and you're looking forward to it in the chat. Where
Yes.
you're dialing in from?
Okay, let's see. This here.
You're playing one of the videos on YouTube.
Nope, I'm doing podcast today. So he wants me to do a podcast. So 1 second while I move it around.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Let's see, where is it? Where did the sorry guys. I'm usually on my computer and being in somebody else's computer, it's not fun. Trying to figure out what they did with everything. Um, so okay. We're going to do some podcasts today, so I'm gonna go into the screen here. If I could get it to share. Let's see, share screens. There we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep. Let's just start
Okay.
sharing.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to, can you still see my screen?
Yes. Let's see.
Okay.
Create a new podcast.
Okay, great. So we're in the Momentum Tech. Good morning, everyone. And I'm Jennette Garza. I'm going to be doing the AI Breakfast Lab today. This is my first time. So, so have patience with me until I find everything where everything is. But so I'm in Momentum Tech dashboard. And then you see
We
this
don't.
little,
We don't. We don't see the dashboard anymore.
okay, let's see. Can you see it now? Can you see it now?
No. Stop sharing in the reshare and choose the share my screen
Okay,
button.
see, stop sharing. Okay, share. Okay, can you see it now?
Now we can. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start from the beginning here. So good morning, everyone. My name is Jennette Garza, so I'm going to be taking over for Ed this morning. He's picking up some people and going some networkings this morning and working for the summit this morning. So um, I got a little training from him last night and this morning. So we're going into the Momentum Tech dashboard. And if you guys could see this little loop here, typically you would just put whatever you need. I know there's a lot of tools, and sometimes it's kind of you try to look for which one you want. It's easier if you just do the little loop here and write down what you want. So today we're doing the podcast, the AI podcast. I already have it up, so um, I'm going to do, and I already put it in here. So I'm going to do a conversation between two people. I already have the text, and obviously the text is Magic Kids since it's so dear to me. So I put some text in here on the Magic Kids, and I'm going to put, let's see, Bill and Laura are the ones we're picking this morning. So let's generate the podcast. And while it I'm going to play another podcast that Ed told me to play for you.
Exactly. But adopting AI isn't just about learning keystrokes. It's a huge mental and emotional hurdle. We're dealing with deep-seated stuff, identity threats.
Identity threats, like what specifically?
Well, the big one, fear of being replaced. Uh, Worries about competence. Can I even learn this new thing? Maybe the scariest for some, the feeling that the skills you honed for years, your professional identity, might suddenly be irrelevant.
Okay, yeah, that's heavy stuff.
It really is. And that's precisely why those old school training methods, big lecture halls, the giant manuals, why they just completely fall flat with AI.
How so?
Two main reasons. First, cognitive overload. AI often works in ways that aren't intuitive. It can feel like a black box.
Right.
Trying to explain the deep tech up front just swamps people.
Mhm.
And second, and maybe more importantly, they completely ignore those emotional barriers we just talked about. The fear, the identity threat. If you haven't addressed the feeling, facts just won't stick.
So you built this trust deficit right away.
I'm gonna stop it right there. That was just a podcast. I know Ed and probably some of you already heard. I was just putting it on while the other podcast generates, generating, and it's gonna talk about Magic Kids. So, one moment here. Almost done, 88%. Almost done. And as I mentioned, I picked Bill and Laura today, two people. And you could just pick one. You don't have to constantly pick two. Like up here, it'll say bulletin, single voice, a conversation, two voices, usually podcast. It's more entertainment for me when I listen to podcasts to listen to two people instead of just one. So let's see if it's done. Oh, it's done. So let's go ahead and listen to it.
Artificial intelligence is rapidly becoming the most transformative technology of our era. Yet for many, its inner workings remain a complete enigma.
That's a really insightful way to put it. It often feels like we're interacting with a kind of digital magic, you know? You type something in and something often astonishing comes out without much understanding of the process.
Exactly. This perception of AI as a black box, where input goes in and output magically appears, is precisely where many of the fundamental misunderstandings begin. It feels like thinking, but it's something else entirely.
And this isn't just a minor point, it's a critical gap in understanding, especially for students growing up in an AI saturated world. If they start with this magic box mentality, it sets them up for some pretty significant pitfalls.
Indeed, this foundational understanding is identified as the most critical competency in the federal AI literacy framework. Without it, every other AI skill, from prompt engineering to critical evaluation, is built on incredibly unstable ground.
So let's really explore why this foundational knowledge is so crucial. The text highlights three particularly dangerous patterns that emerge when students don't grasp how AI actually works.
The first, and perhaps most insidious, is overtrust. Students assume AI is always right, treating AI-generated text as fact without question. This leads to the uncritical adoption of content in schoolwork and decision-making.
That's a very risky approach, isn't it? We've seen AI hallucinate or confidently state things that are just plain wrong. If you're overtrusting, you're not going to catch those errors, which can have serious consequences.
Then there's the second pattern, misunderstanding. This is where people believe AI is intelligent in a human sense, attributing consciousness, emotions, or intent to these systems. It's a common anthropomorphization.
Oh, I see that all the time. People talk about AI thinking or feeling, which completely obscures the actual mechanics. It's not thinking, it's calculating probabilities based on data.
Precisely. This anthropomorphization creates unrealistic expectations and prevents a clear grasp of how AI truly generates responses. It's a highly sophisticated pattern matching machine, not a sentient being.
And the third dangerous pattern is misuse. Without understanding AI's limitations, students use tools in ways that produce unreliable results. They don't know why. AI sometimes generates incorrect information, so they can't anticipate or correct for it.
It's like trying to hammer a nail with a screwdriver. You're using a tool, but the wrong one for the job, or using it incorrectly. This foundational tutor aims to prevent all three of these patterns by building an accurate mental model of AI.
So, what exactly do students learn in this foundational tutor? It teaches them that AI is primarily a pattern recognition and prediction system, not a conscious entity.
Through interactive explorer missions, analogies, and guided discovery, students develop a clear understanding of core concepts. This includes what AI is and isn't, how it recognizes patterns, generates predictions, and why it can produce incorrect information, like hallucinations.
They also learn the crucial difference between human and artificial intelligence, the importance of human oversight, where AI appears in everyday life, and how AI is trained on data. These aren't abstract lectures, but interactive experiences.
One of the most powerful features is its adaptive instruction, tailoring the same core concepts to a student's developmental level. A first grader learns differently than a 12th grader.
For younger students, grades 1 to 5, the tutor uses simple, concrete analogies. For example, AI is like a guessing machine that predicts the next word, or a detective finding patterns in pictures of cats.
They also learn AI is a robot helper that follows instructions well, but doesn't truly understand what it's doing like a human. This helps them grasp that AI calculates probabilities. It doesn't know things.
For older students, grades 6 to 12, the tutor introduces more advanced concepts. They learn about training data sets, how models learn from examples, and why data quality is so important.
They also delve into how generative AI predicts responses, understanding that large language models predict the next most likely word, rather than thinking. This explains why AI can produce incorrect information, like hallucinations, due to its statistical nature.
Furthermore, they explore the fundamental differences between pattern matching and genuine human understanding, and reinforce the critical importance of human oversight. AI is a tool requiring judgment, not an authority replacing it.
The interactive explorer missions are key to this learning. Students engage directly with AI concepts, like pattern recognition challenges, where they identify patterns and then see how AI would do the same.
And prediction exercises allow students to make their own predictions based on data, then compare them to AI generated predictions. This demystifies the process, showing AI follows similar logic, just at a much larger scale.
Crucially, limitation discovery missions present scenarios where AI is likely to fail, ambiguous questions, or tasks requiring common sense. Discovering these limitations firsthand builds a realistic understanding of AI's boundaries.
Hallucination identification exercises also show students AI generated responses with errors, asking them to pinpoint what went wrong. This directly builds critical evaluation skills.
By the time students complete this tutor, they should feel confident, understanding AI as a tool, not a mystery. They should be curious towns to learn more and critical to knowing AI isn't perfect.
And ultimately, they should feel empowered. They see themselves as individuals who can understand, use, and direct AI rather than just passive consumers of AI generated content.
This is precisely why the AI Foundations tutor is intentionally positioned as the starting point in the entire AI literacy tutor system. Every other tutor builds on this fundamental understanding.
It makes perfect sense, doesn't it? How can you effectively use AI, prompt it, evaluate its outputs, or use it safely without first understanding what it is and how it works?
Without this foundational knowledge, the rest of the literacy pathway lacks the conceptual grounding that makes it meaningful. It's like trying to build a skyscraper without a proper foundation.
So, the outcome is clear. Students develop foundational AI literacy, a clear, accurate, and age appropriate understanding of what AI is, how it works, and how to interact with it intelligently.
This prevents overtrust, misuse, and misunderstanding, while simultaneously building the confidence and curiosity that drive deeper learning. It's where AI literacy truly begins.
And that, I think, is a journey worth taking for everyone, ensuring we're all equipped to navigate this increasingly AI-driven world.
Wow. I wish I had that when I was little, right? Or some of them, us as an adults actually need to know some of that stuff that it's, to see if all the stuff that comes through AI and the internet is true. It's a great one for kids. Now let's go through this one was the text input. We're gonna do the URL input. So I already have a website. Let's see what it says about the AI Breakfast Lab. So I'm going to put the URL, so I'm going to copy it. Go back. The URL, conversation between two people. You could also do one, but as I mentioned before, listening to two people is much interesting to me than just listening to one. I've heard podcasts before with one person. It's kind of, depending on the topic, typically I feel like it might be a little bit boring, but let's do two voices. Let's keep Bill and Laura. I know Ed loves Bill and Laura, so we'll go ahead and pick Bill and Laura, and you could always put any really theme that you want here, but I'm not going to do that right now. So we're just going to generate the podcast. And podcast is so big nowadays. Anytime you talk to, especially the new generation, you talk to them about anything that, instead of reading books, a lot of them are listening to podcasts. And I have many friends that are in this new generation, and they are always like, oh, did you listen to this podcast? And you listen to that. I mean, there's podcasts for everything now. How to even clean a house and crocheting, um, pilots. That's another dear to me. Anything that you can think of, there's a podcast out there. So let's see here. It says occurred an era. So it's still generating. So we'll see. If not, click on the URL. So we'll see. I'll have to pick another one. Okay, well, while it's downloading, I'm gonna do another podcast that Ed had here. It's the secret of getting AI ready. So this is one of the podcasts he did. So let's listen to it, what this other one is generating.
Welcome to the deep dive. Now, if you're involved in rolling out new tech, you probably know the code itself isn't always the toughest bit.
No, often it's the culture, right? Getting people comfortable.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into the secret to getting people on board with AI. We're looking at that big hurdle, the resistance, maybe some fear that often pops up when you bring in advanced AI tools. Our goal here is to unpack a communication strategy that can actually turn that skepticism around, get people ready, and boost adoption.
And this isn't just your standard change management email blast.
No.
When we talk AI implementation, the tech, maybe that's like 20% of it.
Right.
The other 80%, that's the communication. It really determines if people see it as a helpful partner or some kind of threat. So we're going to unpack a specific 5-step framework here. It's really designed to build that trust and get AI properly integrated into how people actually work.
Okay, and that framework you mentioned is called the CLEAR method.
That's right, CLEAR.
Clarify, link, explain, address, and reinforce. So it's a roadmap, step by step.
It's meant to turn that worry into, ideally, advocacy, but you've got to follow through on each step.
It sounds like the secret sauce for leaders trying to manage this kind of big shift. Okay, let's get into it. Starting with C, clarify.
Yeah, clarify the purpose.
So often when there's a big change, you get these really vague announcements, right? About optimizing synergy or something.
Yeah, corporate buzzwords.
And the sources we looked at say that's just completely the wrong approach. We need to answer, why are we really doing this?
Exactly. Because look, people don't get excited about tech for some abstract company goal. They get on board when it solves a real problem for them in their day-to-day work.
Makes sense.
So the communication has to ditch the vague stuff and spell out concrete personal benefits. Don't just say AI makes the company more efficient.
What should we say instead?
Get specific. Like, this will cut down how often you do that repetitive task you hate, or it'll slash data entry mistakes, or maybe speed up customer replies dramatically. Real outcomes.
And I think a key point here is that these benefits aren't one size fits all. You need to tailor it.
Oh, absolutely. Hyper customized is the word. Think about who you're talking to, your tech teams. They care about stability, accuracy, how it integrates.
Right.
So you talk to them about reducing technical debt, making systems more reliable. But your customer service folks, they live and breathe client happiness.
So for them, it's about making their jobs less frustrating.
Precisely. Tell them how it gets rid of the tedious parts, freeing them up to actually connect with clients more deeply. It's about what they value.
Okay, so we need tangible proof. Numbers, maybe.
Yes, exactly. Don't just promise time savings. Quantify it. Give them the actual math. Like, this new AI tool cuts down your daily email processing from, say, 45 minutes to just 10. That's 35 minutes back in their day, every day.
That's concrete. You can feel that difference.
Right. It makes that abstract idea of efficiency suddenly very real, very personal.
Okay, so we've clarified the why, the specific benefits. What's next? Overcoming the fear of the unknown. That brings us to L. Link to their world.
Yeah, this is crucial. AI often sounds like this complicated alien thing, a black box.
Right. How do you make it feel less intimidating, more familiar?
You lean on what people already know. If it feels like starting from scratch, the mental effort is just too high. So you need analogies, parallels to tools or processes they already use constantly.
So like if you're bringing in some AI for predictive maintenance, you wouldn't talk about the algorithms.
No, definitely not. You'd maybe compare it to something familiar. Like, it's sort of like the check engine light in your car, but way smarter. It flags potential issues before they cause a breakdown.
Okay. Connecting it to existing concepts.
Exactly. It's all about translating the tech jargon into plain English. Analogies are your best friend here.
How would you explain something complex like machine learning then?
You can say something like, look, the system learns from data. The more it sees, the better it gets. It's kind of like how you get better at speaking a new language. You need practice, right? You need conversations.
Okay, so it shifts the focus from the how to the what it does for me.
Precisely. It's about the relatable improvement, not the underlying complexity.
And it's not just about function, right? There's an emotional side too. I remember one source talking about social proof.
Yes, the validation aspect. That's really powerful. Share success stories.
From where?
Ideally, from similar companies or maybe even another team within your own organization if they're ahead on adoption. When people hear about colleagues, people just like them actually benefiting.
Like the sales team closing deals faster.
I'm gonna stop that. So what I'm trying to do, I know you guys have seen my screen. For some reason, that other URL that I pick is not working very well. So let's try this one again. Let's do the 3 minutes. Let's see here. Bill. And Laura, you could put, if you could see, it's easier to pick the search button there and put pick where you want exactly. So I pick Bill and Laura, and let's generate the podcast again and see. Let's continue that other podcast while it generates.
Or finance spending less time on expenses.
Exactly. That kind of stuff resonates way more than a top-down announcement. It makes the AI feel less like a management thing and more like a genuinely useful tool people are already using to make their work life better.
Right. Okay, so we've clarified and linked. Now we get into the real nuts and bolts with E. Explain what changes. This feels like where things can get tricky.
Yeah, this is often where leaders hesitate, maybe get a bit vague because they don't want to scare people.
But uncertainty is often worse, isn't it? Not knowing how your job might change.
Much worse. That uncertainty breeds way more fear than clarity ever could. So you have to be crystal clear about how responsibilities are shifting.
So no sugarcoating.
No, you need absolute clarity on how roles will evolve. Spell it out. What specific tasks will the AI take over or help with?
Maybe like a list.
Yeah, a list, a checklist, maybe even a matrix showing.
Yeah.
This task moves to AI, this task stays with the human, this task becomes a collaboration. Be that specific.
So people can really see the before and after of their job, their new role taking shape.
Exactly. Describe that workflow evolution step by step. And visuals help immensely here.
Like flowcharts.
Annotated flowcharts are great. Show where the AI gets data, where it might flag something unusual, and crucially, where the human steps in to make a judgment call or take action. Remove all the guesswork.
Performance. How people are measured.
Good point. You need to address that too. Clarify how expectations might change, but frame it positively. Emphasize that this shift lets people offload the routine stuff.
And focus on more interesting work.
Yes, higher value activities that need human judgment, creativity, complex problem solving. Things AI isn't good at.
That clarity about structure seems like the perfect lead in to the emotional side, the A. Address concerns proactively. This is about tackling the worries head on, right? Naming the elephants in the room before they cause chaos.
You absolutely have to. If you don't, those fears just bubble under the surface and erode trust.
So what are the typical big fears we need to anticipate?
Well, the usual suspects are job security, obviously. Will I be replaced? Then there's skill obsolescence. Will my expertise become worthless? And losing autonomy and control over decisions. Those are huge.
And you're saying we should bring these up ourselves.
Yes, name them, acknowledge them directly. Say, we know some of you might be worried about X, Y, or Z. Just acknowledging the concern validates people's feelings. It shows you understand.
But what about the AI's own limitations? Does talking about where the AI might fail undermine confidence? Should we really be that transparent?
That's a really insightful question. And it gets to the heart of selling tech versus actually getting it adopted successfully. Look, if you pitch the AI as perfect, infallible,
It's bound to disappoint eventually.
exactly, the first time it makes a mistake, trust evaporates. So transparency here actually builds credibility, paradoxically.
So be honest about what it can't do.
Yes. Talk about its limitations. Maybe explain concepts like model drift, how AI accuracy can degrade over time if the real world changes, or its sensitivity to bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop that now. It did it. So let's see.
The
Awesome.
future of work isn't just coming, it's already here, fundamentally reshaping how businesses operate and individuals create. Today, we're diving into how AI is becoming the ultimate co-pilot for entrepreneurs, because the tools available now are truly transformative.
You know, it's interesting because for many, the sheer pace of AI innovation can feel incredibly overwhelming, almost like a constant state of future shock. It's a lot to keep up with, and for business owners, it often raises immediate questions about cost, learning curves, and whether these tools will actually deliver tangible value.
That's a very common sentiment, and it highlights a significant barrier to adoption for many. However, what makes this particular collection of AI tools so compelling is its structured approach. It's not just a random list of shiny new gadgets. It's presented as a clear pathway for integrating AI into core business functions like writing books, creating courses, and building authority.
That's a crucial distinction. What immediately caught my eye was the emphasis on starting with the absolute basics. They offer articles like, "What is AI and how can it help your business?" And "Your first week with AI, a practical roadmap." That foundational knowledge is essential because without understanding the fundamentals, the more advanced tools just become noise.
Exactly. It's like being given the keys to a high-performance sports car without ever having learned to drive. From those foundational pieces, they quickly move into practical, skill-based guides, such as understanding GPTs and custom AI assistants, and AI Prompting 101. Prompting, that's becoming the new literacy.
It really is a distinct skill. Many people get frustrated with AI because they try it once, get a generic answer, and then dismiss it. but it's more like learning to communicate effectively with a very powerful, very literal assistant. You have to learn its language, or at least how to phrase things precisely to get truly useful output.
That's a great point. It signals a thoughtful, user-centric approach. Once those foundational skills are established, we then get to the actual tools, broken down into categories. What jumps out immediately is the strong focus on book writing, with 8 dedicated tools, and expert agents with 7. This suggests a deliberate emphasis on content creation and leveraging specialized knowledge for business growth.
Yes, the expert agents section is particularly fascinating and quite innovative. While they include a general assistant, Wow GPT, they then introduce these incredibly specific AI agents named after historical figures. Ask Ed, Ask Leo, Ask Zig, Ask Napoleon, and Ask Jim. It's a truly bold and intriguing move to channel their wisdom.
It truly is. It raises questions about whether it's genuinely channeling their unique perspective or simply a sophisticated knowledge base trained on their published works. For instance, Leo Burnett created iconic brand characters. Can an AI replicate that creative genius? Or is it more about extracting the principles behind that genius?
I tend to believe it's more the latter, and even that, I think, is incredibly valuable. Imagine having a digital mentor who has absorbed all the writings and strategies of someone like Napoleon Hill. You're getting their accumulated wisdom distilled and applied to your specific questions. It's like having an interactive library of their entire body of work.
Revolutionary, yes, but also a little uncanny. There's a certain gravitas around these historical figures. To distill them into an ask bot almost feels like demystifying them. But if it helps people access and apply their timeless principles more effectively, perhaps that's a net positive. It's a trade-off between spontaneous insight and structured knowledge.
It certainly is a trade-off, and it makes me curious about the training data for these agents. Is it solely their published works, or does it incorporate broader analyses of their impact? Even if it's primarily their published works, that's still a massive amount of curated knowledge, offering a highly efficient shortcut to understanding their core tenets.
A shortcut, but hopefully not a complete substitute for deep engagement with the original material. It feels more like a tool for synthesis and application, rather than pure creation of new wisdom. Then we move to the Write Your Book suite, which is quite extensive, with 8 distinct tools. This is clearly a major focus, suggesting a strong belief in authorship for business growth.
It certainly does. The book research tool, for example, uses AI for personalized market analysis, trend insights, and even legal originality checks. That last part is incredibly crucial for nonfiction authors. Imagine the time saved, avoiding potential copyright issues, and identifying market gaps quickly.
That's a game changer. It's like having a team of research assistants at your fingertips. Then, the Book Clarity Coach helps you uncover the perfect topic, ensuring it reflects your genius and fuels your purpose. This is often where many aspiring authors get stuck, facing the daunting blank page. Having an AI to help refine that initial concept sounds incredibly valuable.
It's like a brainstorming partner that has processed millions of books and articles. And then Book 360 sounds like a comprehensive planning tool designed to dig deep based on your input. This really underscores that the quality of the AI's output is directly tied to the quality of the user's input, reinforcing the importance of prompting 101.
Absolutely. It's the classic garbage in, garbage out principle, even with advanced AI. But then we get to the ghostwriter tool. This is where the discussion gets really interesting, and for some, perhaps a little controversial. An AI that transforms book ideas into polished manuscripts. This is actively doing the writing.
It certainly is. And I think this is precisely where the conversation around authenticity and authorship really heats up. If an AI writes your book, is it truly your book? I tend to lean towards it being a powerful tool, much like a word processor that you leverage to express your ideas. The core ideas and expertise still originate from the human author.
But what about the voice? The subtle nuances, the personal anecdotes, the stylistic choices that make a book uniquely yours. Can an AI truly replicate that? Or does it produce something technically proficient, but ultimately sterile? This is precisely where the humanizer tool, which we'll discuss, becomes incredibly relevant.
That's a very astute observation. The ghostwriter is likely best for getting a solid first draft, for overcoming writer's block or structuring complex information. But then the human author absolutely comes in to infuse it with their unique voice, their personal stories, and their emotional resonance. It's a collaborative process.
And then there's the Authority Book Ghostwriter Coach, which specifically focuses on crafting a client-generating authority book. This isn't just about writing a book. It's about strategically leveraging that book for business growth, positioning yourself as the go-to expert, and attracting ideal clients. It's a very strategic application.
Which aligns perfectly with the overall mission, driving business growth. A well-written, authoritative book is an incredibly powerful marketing tool. If AI can help you produce that tool more efficiently, then it directly contributes to that growth, democratizing the process of becoming a published author and thought leader.
Following that, we have Fact Checker, which allows you to upload your full manuscript to automatically identify and verify every factual claim, historical dates, statistics, scientific assertions, with source-backed corrections. This feature, to me, is absolutely huge, especially in an age where misinformation can erode trust.
I completely agree. It's like having an army of dedicated research assistants meticulously cross-referencing every single detail. The time savings alone would be immense, and the peace of mind knowing your facts are solid is truly invaluable. This tool directly addresses a critical pain point for authors and publishers.
And then there's Book Critic, which promises professional level feedback tailored to your genre, writing goals, and draft stage. Can an AI truly provide nuanced, insightful feedback on subjective elements like plot development or emotional impact? Or is it more about structural analysis and identifying repetitive phrases?
I think it's probably a very powerful blend of both. It can certainly identify structural issues, pacing problems, and suggest improvements based on genre conventions. It acts as an incredibly diligent early reader, catching things a human editor might miss. However, for deeper, more subjective aspects, a human critic is still essential.
So, once again, we see AI positioned as a co-pilot, a highly efficient assistant, rather than the sole pilot. And finally, to complete the package, there's Create a Book Cover, using AI to design stunning professional covers effortlessly. This is a very visual and immediate application of AI that makes perfect sense for modern authors.
It absolutely does. For independent authors, cover design can be a significant expense and a huge creative hurdle. A poorly designed cover can unfortunately sink a good book. If AI can help create eye-catching, professional covers quickly and affordably, that's a massive benefit to the indie publishing community.
So, when you look at that entire book writing process, from ideation and research to drafting, fact-checking, critical feedback, and even cover design, it appears that every single step can now be significantly augmented or even driven by AI. It truly presents an end-to-end solution for authors, democratizing publishing in a way we haven't seen before.
It truly does. And the application of AI extends beyond just books. They also feature audio and content tools. The Create Your Audiobook tool, for example, transforms words into captivating audiobooks with lifelike voices. This represents another huge accessibility win, allowing authors to tap into the rapidly growing audiobook market without expensive voice actors.
And then the Humanizer tool. This one, to me, is incredibly telling, and perhaps one of the most insightful inclusions. It transforms AI-generated text into authentic, human-like writing, with natural flow and subtle imperfections. The very fact that this tool exists acknowledges a current limitation of raw AI output, that it can often sound sterile.
It's an absolutely crucial tool, actually, because if your AI generated content sounds overtly like it was written by an AI, it risks losing credibility and genuine engagement. The phrase subtle imperfections is key here. Humans aren't perfect writers. We have unique cadences that make our writing distinct and relatable.
It's almost like AI learning to act human, beyond just generating human-like text. It's about generating text that feels human, with all the inherent messiness, personality, and emotional resonance that implies. It's a fascinating and rather sophisticated layer of development in AI's capabilities.
And it demonstrates a deeper understanding of what truly makes content resonate with an audience. It's not just about conveying information, it's fundamentally about building connection and trust. Moving on to design your course, they outline a clear two-step process. Course Genius Agent for planning and Course Designer for structuring and scripting.
Absolutely. Course creation can be an incredibly daunting task for many, even for seasoned experts. Taking your deep expertise and structuring it into a coherent, engaging, and marketable course is a distinct skill. The Course Genius Agent sounds like it helps with those big picture ideas, turning raw expertise into powerful courses.
And then the Course Designer takes it a crucial step further, suggesting specific ideas, structuring modules, and crafting polished scripts. This is where the rubber truly meets the road for course creators. Many experts have the knowledge but struggle profoundly with the pedagogy, with how to effectively teach and present that knowledge.
It's really about leveraging expertise without necessarily needing to be an expert instructional designer yourself. It democratizes the creation of high-quality educational content, much in the same way the book writing tools democratize publishing. And finally, to round out their offerings for business growth, they feature social media AI tools, specifically highlighting a social selling coach.
Yes, the social selling coach. This tool focuses on building authority, growing your audience, and mastering social selling techniques for business growth. It's not just about generating a few posts, it's about developing a cohesive strategy. Social media is often the very first point of contact for potential clients.
It's interesting that it's framed as a coach rather than just a content generator. That distinction implies a more strategic, long-term approach to social media engagement, rather than just churning out daily posts. It's about building a sustainable presence and driving measurable business outcomes.
Exactly. So, when you consider this entire collection, from the foundational articles to the expert agents, the comprehensive book writing suite, the content enhancement tools, and the course and social media design aids, it paints a very clear picture of AI as an incredibly versatile and powerful partner for any entrepreneur.
It really is. It's about taking those tasks that are either incredibly time-consuming, require highly specialized skills, or are just plain daunting, and making them significantly more accessible and efficient. The underlying promise here isn't merely to do things faster, but to empower individuals to achieve things they might never have been able to achieve before.
And that, I think, is the real transformative power of these tools. It's the empowerment of the individual entrepreneur. It allows a solopreneur to operate with the capabilities and output of a much larger agency, bringing their ideas to fruition, whether that manifests as a published book or a robust social media presence.
But it also consistently underscores the absolutely critical importance of the human in the loop. These tools are explicitly there to help you, to augment your abilities, not to replace you entirely. The very existence of the humanizer tool is a powerful testament to that philosophy, acknowledging that the ultimate goal is to create content that genuinely connects with other humans.
And the strong emphasis on prompting 101 means that the human operator needs to be skilled, knowledgeable, and thoughtful. It's not a magic wand. It's a highly sophisticated instrument that requires a skilled hand and clear intention to wield effectively. The better you understand how to communicate with it, the more precise results you'll get.
So, for anyone feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of AI tools or unsure how to even begin, this structured, step-by-step approach seems like an incredibly sensible and practical starting point. It thoughtfully moves from understanding the fundamentals to applying specific tools for achieving tangible business outcomes.
It really is an essential guide. And the idea of learning every weekday at 10 a.m. CT, as they mention in their call to action, suggests a strong commitment to ongoing education. Because this isn't a static field, it's constantly evolving. So continuous learning and adaptation are absolutely key to staying ahead.
It's truly a journey, not a fixed destination. And these tools, these carefully curated resources, they are designed to make that journey a little less daunting, a lot more productive, and ultimately far more rewarding. It's about harnessing the immense power of AI not just for novelty, but for genuine, measurable, and sustainable business growth.
Which at the end of the day is precisely what every entrepreneur and business professional is striving for: to grow, to expand their reach, to connect with more people, and to do it all as effectively and efficiently as possible. These tools seem to offer a very compelling and practical path to achieve just that.
Indeed, it's a powerful reminder that while the underlying technology can be incredibly complex, its application can be remarkably practical and profoundly transformative for individuals and businesses alike. The future isn't just coming, it's already here, and it's ready to help you write that book you've always dreamed of, or finally launch that course you've been planning for years.
And that, I think, is a future that is not only worth embracing, but actively engaging with.
Okay, great. Well, I saw a couple of questions there. I'll just go ahead and answer some of them. For the videos, it's going to take a little bit. You could actually add a video to this and have two people speaking at the same time with this voice as a podcast. One thing I was gonna say is you could pick any website. Like I picked, that was the AI Breakfast Lab. I went into the website and clicked on the research part, and picked the URL. On the one for the Magic Kids, I had a blog in there and I just highlighted the blog. It's usually not the same. Sometimes on the words, it won't tell you the words correctly sometimes. So you got to play with it. It is still AI, but on the if you do the URL, it typically does really good. You could do this in any language. So I picked English, obviously, but um, language right here. If you go into the language part, see it has Polish, German, Spanish, French. So whatever URL you pick, it'll be able to do what language you pick on. It'll say the what language. Now with the voices, one great thing is like if you notice here, Ed already customized his voice, and he did it. It's the one that costs a $4.99. But once you do that, once you do the $4.99 a month on your voice and you do your own voice, the great thing about this is you could use it in any app. So for example, this is the podcast, so his voice came up. This is one that I use. I use this one for Spanish because I do translations from my church in Spanish, and I was doing a class, a course, and I picked my pastor. He is out of Florida. He's originally from Argentina, but he was 5 years old when he came to the United States, and nowadays you will never know he spoke Spanish because he can't really, he understands it, he still reads it, but speaking it, he doesn't speak it anymore. So I was able to get his voice in English and it translated into Spanish. So that was pretty interesting. Um, but there's many voices in here, like American accent. Let's say I will pick, let's pick Spanish, for example, and then you just listen to them.
It is not so important to know every.
So those are the voices, but it will go into Spanish. Once, if you have a URL in there that's Spanish, these all have accents on them. This is a British accent. Um, but I picked Bill and Laura because typically Ed said those are the ones he usually likes for the podcast. So let's see. What else? Other questions somebody had here? Let's see here. So the two different languages, the two different conversations, if you look up on the podcast, it's the AI podcast, it'll tell you if you want two voices or you want one single voice. I believe that's the question you were asking, if you could pick two voices. So you could pick two or one. And you could add the text like I did for Magic Kids. I picked one of the blogs and copied it and put it in here. Or you could do a URL. Typically on the URL, I picked, in this case, I picked the AI Breakfast Lab, that actually, the part that says research, and it talked about the apps. And the great thing about it, if you heard the podcast, it's going to help you a lot for the summit, because it's going to talk, we have some great speakers coming, and they're going to be talking about writing a book. And I heard one of the speakers yesterday, and it was interesting. It got me excited to actually start reading again. A lot of times I don't have the time, and it's midnight and it's time to go to bed. But he talked about having getting a book ready. So I already got my to-do list of what kind of books I want to write in English and Spanish and French, and I'm gonna start them in here in a couple of months. So let's see here. And as I mentioned, this is you can just scroll down and you can pick whatever one you like. But since Ed does this a lot, he already kind of knew which one he wanted to pick. So or you could manage your voice clone like Ed always talks about, like he already did here. If you notice, Ed is already here. And then to generate it, it does cut some credits. It's very pennies on it, but it does cost some credits. Let's see, what else? What was the other question? Evelyn, on the link for the summit funnel, I'll text you that on the WhatsApp. I'll let you know about that. And then let's see here. Is it written with two different conversation? Ask Ed and ask. Yes, as I mentioned, you could do the conversation, one single voice or two voices. You choose. Let's see here. With these AI podcasts, what is the norm of identifying the people speaking in introduction? Name of person, organization. So you get to pick, if I understand the question right, you get to pick whichever one you like. So
There's no greater harm.
so you just really get to pick which one. You could go
Our
through
new
it.
truck is very
Level, trust a few.
So you could just go through all of them and just listen.
I must not fear.
Uh,
about
which one you like to, this is a high, let's see, great for commercial.
anyone who takes the time to listen is either an old soul or a romantic one. Anyone who takes the time to listen.
Okay, let's see what else. Yes, Ramona asked the question, if you do not have a URL reference, do you have to write out the full podcast conversation? I will suggest the best and the easiest, if you have a website and you have blogs, or you have blogs, you could write out the conversation, but it's so much faster if you already have something set. But yes, you could write out the conversation. Let's see here. So I believe I already answered that one. AI podcast, what is the normal identifying the people speaking? You just go through as I mentioned, Ed has done it so many times, he kind of already knew Bill and Laura. Disregard. See, you could do it in any language, as you could see, any language here. Many languages in here. So, let's see. Yes, the clone does cost a $4.99. It costs $4.99. Once you did do the clone $4.99, you will be able to use it in any other app. So once you clone your voice once, you can use it in any voice app that you need. For example, here is a podcast. Let's see here. What other questions? Um, No, it's $4.99 per clone voice. So if you clone your own voice, it's $4.99. Okay, any other questions? You could actually ask, you could have AI create your own conversation. Yes. Here you are going to need a URL or text input, but you could have, like, you could ask Ed, you could ask whoever, the ghostwriter, ask that question to them, and then, just write out what you like to do. I picked I picked Magic Kids because that's very dear to me every Monday night. And we'll talk about that also on Saturday for the summit. I hope you guys are all signed up for the summit. If you're not coming to Nashville, you're definitely can listen in pay-per-view live. Um, it's going to be exciting times. We have over 100 people sign up for here in Nashville. I think it's closer to actually 150. So, um, and then we're going to have thousands of people online on pay-per-view. So it's going to be an exciting time and lots of learning. And it's going to be a test at the end so you could get certified. So I already got mine. I was going through the questions last night and I passed it. So it's not going to be too hard if you listen into the summit. Um, the link for the summit is momentumtechAIsummit.com. MomentumtechAIsummit.com. And then you go to the top of the screen. Let me go ahead and go here for you. So it's right here, momentumtechAIsummit.com. I'll put it in the chat for you.
I just put it in chat form. I put it in the chat form.
You already did? Okay, great. Thank you.
Welcome.
I thought you left me.
No, I'm here. I'm
Okay, so
just admiring your great job. You're doing so amazing.
no, I'm trying to be like the sensei, but he does it every day. I don't. So Momentum Tech AI Summit, and you go up to the top, see where it says Global Simulcast Pay-per-view. PPV means pay-per-view. So you click on it. And you could just click it right there if you're going to be doing it tomorrow, but it is to attend. Let's see where it goes. So you got to go to the certified and you got to, let's see here, sign in. 1 second. Let's see where it goes.
You can click the attend for free button. I think it'll take it right there. Or reserve my seat.
Reserve
Right
my
there.
seat. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Reserve my seat. Okay, and then, so obviously it's tomorrow. You pick the date, select, you write your name, your last name, and your email, and you just pick, what you like and how do you learn about the summit, who invited you, and then you register. Once you register, the pay-per-view is $5. Is that correct, James?
Yes.
Yes, $5. Once you pay the $5, they will send you an email I have friends in Venezuela and Colombia that are listening in, and actually India. So they're listening in, so they get an email tomorrow, Saturday. What you'll do is you just click on that email, or you could come in here, and I believe you could just click live, right? Or you would
Yep.
you'll just follow the email instructions, and then when it's time to log in, you just log in into that link they send you in the email. Um, and that's it. That would be pretty much it. Anybody has any other questions? Tomorrow we are going to have all the corporate together, and it's going to be like a coffee hangout. So you're gonna hear a little bit about everybody and what we're doing, and um, you could be able to ask any questions about us. So I think somebody else has a question here. Okay, again, for the link for the summit, James put it in the chat. So a momentumtechAIsummit.com, momentumtechAIsummit.com. Yes, it'll only be in English. Is that correct, James?
Yeah, it's just in English
Yes, only in English.
this time.
Yeah, for right now. More to come in the future. Okay, they said that they saw it somewhere. It said free. The only one that's free is if you come here to Nashville. The one for the pay-per-view, it does cost $5.
Yeah, there's a professional television station that is doing the pay for view for us. So we're not charging you the $5. It's the television station for them to make it available for you. They have a hard cost. So they're just passing that $5 on to uh, help offset their cost to bring it to you live.
Ramona had a question. Do you have to write out the conversation? As I mentioned, it's easier if you go into a website and have a blog or the research part of it. You could write it out. You could have AI created like on the Ghostwriter or Ask Ed. You could create a conversation and then copy it from there and go to the podcast. You could do that too. Let's see here. What else? You don't have to go so much in detail the organization. If you notice, all I did was put the URL on the podcast. Let's see, let me go back here. All I did, I just click on let me go back to the library, and it'll say create new podcast. And then when you go into the create podcast, you click in bulletin or the two voices, text input or URL input. And then you pick whichever times you want. Ed mentioned to me that the medium 3 to 7 minutes, it's a better conversation than the short one. You could pick whatever language, and you could pick your voices, and it's a little up and down arrow here. And then key themes. If you notice, I did not put that. I did not put anything there. But if you like to have something in there, you can, and then just generate your podcast. Okay, well, James, do you have any questions or anything to say?
Yeah, I just say, hey, if you love what our Miss AI Sensei did for us today, show her some love, put a 10 in the chat box. Thank you so much, Jennette. I learned so much, and you were awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's show Jennette some love, put her a 10 in the chat box. And thank you all for being here. This is an exciting week. We've got this big, beautiful, and we're overbooked as far as live seats. And so it's going to be interesting. We may have standing room only. And
Yeah.
thank you for all of you who could come. We understand many of you are across the waters and other things, family to take care of and can't come. So thank you if you do listen in live. That is, hey, the next best thing. So whatever you got to do, be there, have a watch party at your home, set up, on your TV screen and make some popcorn and some Texas sweet iced tea. and just have a big time. Invite friends over and enjoy the show Saturday together with
Yeah.
friends and family. Thank you all
Yeah.
for being here. Keep coming back. We'll see you
Right.
at the top.